We're going to take a look at this new EBL battery charger. It's geared more toward hobbyists and families that go through a lot of batteries, use a lot of different style batteries. It can charge a whole lot more than normal. They call it their 12+2 universal battery charger. That really includes a kit. You can get the charger by itself, or you can also get it in kits that come with rechargeable batteries, these nickel metal hydride batteries. This will charge everything from AAA batteries on up to AA batteries, C-size batteries, and even a D-size cell battery. And then on the side you have a battery area to charge 9 volts. Not very many chargers will also charge rechargeable 9 volts with it. With this one, I'm going to give you the model number and actually what the charge rates are and that sort of thing. If you look at the back of it, it gives the charge rates on here. And this particular model on it, if I can get a close enough view here, but this is the C9036W. That's the model of the charger itself. When you put these cells in here, they charge at different rates. So the lower, smaller batteries, put 12 batteries in a row in these slots, and then the 2 additional 9 volts, and you can charge those all at the same time. The larger the battery, though, it sort of limits. It takes 2 slots for the size C and the size D batteries in here. So when you go to charge one of these, like a larger cell like this 9 volt, instead of just taking the one slot, you use 2 slots and this center rail in here that's a little bit taller. So when you pull this back, you put it in the 2 slots and then the center section here, and then you can see it charging on it. The way the charger works on it, it'll show that it's charging when it's properly set up. If you have it turned backwards, it'll have an error message here. And then this will flash for you, and it'll show you that this doesn't have a lot of charge in it. And once it gets all the way to the top, the charge light will go out, and this cell will show all the way full. And that lets you know that it's completely filled all the way with it. And it works the same way with the C batteries. A little bit smaller, but they still take up a double slot. So when you go to put this in, you pull the 2 back together, put it in that middle slot. With that, when you're going to charge these, you can only charge 4 of these type cells at a time, but you can still charge the 9 volt batteries. But if you just want to charge one big cell like that, you can fill all of these slots with AA or AAA batteries. The charge rates, like I started to say, were a little bit different on them. When you're charging these AAAs and AAs, they charge at a rate of 900 milliamp hours is how much power is putting into them at a time. Whereas the 9 volt and the D size cell and the C cell puts a little bit more power into them. I think it's so with the D's and the C's, you get 18 milliamp charge rate with them. So it puts out double the power into the cell to charge these faster than these do. With them smaller, you don't want to put any more than that 900 milliamps into the cell, or they can overheat and start ruining the battery. So they charge at a faster than basic rate, but not so fast that it'll damage the cell. So it's a good compromise on longevity of the battery life and getting your batteries charged up fast enough for you without having to wait. Like the old battery chargers, they took forever. They would charge at around 200 milliamp hours into them, and it took forever to charge the batteries. But newer batteries now, the technology has kind of gotten a little bit better to where it can handle a higher wattage and amperage into the cells in them. With this charger, you've got just a basic regular wall plug. It doesn't go by USB-C because it needs a little bit more power to be able to charge that many batteries at a time with it. So it uses just a standard plug with it. With these, if you're charging a 9-volt battery, it works good charging most 9 volts, and it'll also charge some of the lithium 9-volt batteries, whereas these slots will only charge nickel metal hydride and nickel cadmium batteries. The NiCad batteries are a little bit safer, and you don't have to worry about them overheating as much. They tend to, if you use something in a really hot location, the NiCad batteries can take the heat a little bit better than the nickel metal hydride can, but the nickel metal hydride tend to get a little bit more life out of them, so that's sort of the differences in them. If you look, when you put a charger on here, if you have a rechargeable battery, like these USB type rechargeable 9 volts, some of these will work and some won't. It just depends on the battery. If they're not an external charger, if it doesn't have a USB-C port, most any of the 9 volts will work with those. So you just mount it on there. Let's see if I can get it here. When you hold it up, you'll see that red light, and that lets you know it's charging, and then it'll go green when it's charged all the way with it. But like I said, some of these style batteries won't work, so you can't tell for sure until you try it. But if you've got any of the standard ones that don't have that plug, it'll work with nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, and the lithium batteries on the 9-volt rechargeable with it. But EBL's been around for a really long time. It's one of the biggest battery companies in the world, and one of the leading companies in China. They've backed also their parent company, EL Power. That's a Shenzhen LE Power electric company. It's a pretty huge company that makes really large batteries for companies and custom design work, and so they've got a lot more R&D and tech behind them than some of these simple battery companies that have other people make them for them. They actually build their own batteries in-house, and the EBL brand is a subsidiary to the LA Power company. So it's a pretty huge company. It's going to be around for a long time. You don't have to worry about them going anywhere, and they going to build a little bit better product, knowing that they have to be around and keep their reputation up. Chargers like this, if you really use a lot of cells, have a lot of flashlights, this is one of the better chargers that you can use for this type of thing, because having the C cells and the D cell size batteries, being able to charge those, you can still use those old style mag light flashlights that use the really big cells, where most of the flashlights nowadays use a smaller cell, but this will allow you to be able to recharge those and then charge some of the newer small flashlights that use AA and AAA batteries with them. I've had this for about 3 weeks now, working with it. As the more you use the batteries, it takes about 5 or so charges and discharges before they come up to their full strength. So when you first get them, they're probably going to be about 15% below the normal runtime, and as you use it more, you'll get a little bit longer runtime out of the batteries with them. Most cells like that, that's what it takes, anywhere from 5 to 10 charges before you get it up to a good working charge on them. And you get, depending on the battery and how deep you discharge each one, you can expect anywhere from 500 to over 2,000 charge and discharges with some of these batteries. So you're getting something that's going to last a long time. They basically, in most of my testing, they compare to any of the Eneloop, Panasonic type batteries that used to be the gold standard of battery. These pretty much live up to that same standard on them. So sometimes you can get them a little less than those, and you get a battery that's going to last just as long. So far, I've been super happy with this charger. If you have any other questions about it, I'll be glad to answer it. Just post in the comment below. I'll put a link directly to this particular charger and the kit as you see it with these batteries. And on that site, it has a list of the charger by itself or the batteries separately and some of the other components you can get with them. Also the 9 volts and a few different type of selections on that. But been happy with it so far. I don't think you can go wrong with this charger. It seems to be working great. So like I said, just look in the description below and I have a link directly to it, and you can ask me any questions about it and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.